Convoluted people.
Convoluted.
Convoluted.
He's the most convoluted by far.
I'm pretty simple.
No, you're not. No. It's all Michael's fault.
It's all my fault.
Yeah,
That's
it always
both a
is.
bad thing and a good thing, though.
Yeah, well, here around here it's actually a very good thing. But Scott has shown up from the jungles of Peru in a non-stop theatre, almost, and he's in one piece because covidiously you didn't get abused.
You know, when I went to the jungle guy, they thought about abusing me, but I had a machete.
So you abused the jungle. That's very naughty of you.
No, should I tell you guys a 3 minutes?
Yeah, but you have to talk loud because otherwise the microphone won't pick it up.
3 minute story, guys. I went to a shaman's land in the Amazon jungle in Peru, and I was in a tent with my buddy. And in the middle of the night, I woke up to hear a frequency in the sky that was so weird that I kind of tremored a little bit because I didn't understand what it was. In your life, when you don't understand when something huge, when you don't understand it, it freaks you out.
Yeah.
So my friend was still sleeping. I didn't want to.
Is that why you're talking quietly?
I don't know why I'm doing that. I think it's the mood of the thing. So in the morning, I asked the shaman, what was that thing? And he said, that's the river mermaid singing. Only some people can hear them.
Yeah.
And then thankfully, so I didn't know I was crazy, my friend comes out of the tent and he's like, what was that last night? And so he heard it too. But
well, that's a great blessing to have the elementals talk to you.
That's what he said.
Wow, really cool. And so we have a couple of friends here. Let me turn around. And you will see.
You can wave now.
You can wave now. So Nemi is great. Nemi is a friend of Rich Hart, who's been a long time person. This is Aaron pretending to be Erin and confusing us with his accent. And so Nemi used to go to Dow Gardens, and she's had the Ashlight how many times? Once. Oh, really? Wow. And so she came all the way from London, where she lives, to buy the Yemingzhu, and you've been waiting 3 years for that. So congratulations on coming. And so I was in Bangkok last week, and I decided to go to the Onsen. There are about 10 onsens, really good ones actually. And
what's an onsen?
It's a Japanese spa.
Ah, okay.
It's hardcore. So I hadn't been in an onsen since I was in Osaka. No, I went once here, but the one in Chiang Mai is nothing, not really great. But 42 degrees C, and one of them was mineral, one of them was a lying down bath thing, and then the freaking cold, 15 or less degrees cold plunge, and then the usual sauna and stuff. And I was there for about 40 minutes, in and out. But I had a huge detox after that. So, in Bangkok, yeah, very nice onsen. This was near Siam, a couple of stops on the BTS after, and highly recommend it. But I think I saw about 10 of them, but it's very traditional. Let me turn around so that, there you go, and I can tell you the rest of my story. So the funny thing is, Michael might know this, and probably Scott, I'm not very good at conforming. You never noticed, did you?
No, I never.
I always do what I'm told, yes.
Maybe that's kind of what my problem is.
I don't know, is it a problem?
I think it's an opportunity. Anyway, so, come closer.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's very Japanese. You go in, and then they give you, after you pay, you have to then go to the foot a locker place to pick up the shoes. But I don't like wearing other people's, even if they're bamboo flip-flops. So I didn't bother taking that, I just put my shoes in. But then you have to get another key, so you get a key for that. And then you have to go upstairs, and that's where the onsen is for the men. But the staff dude, he wouldn't let me in. He said, no, the onsen's on the second floor. I said, no, I just came from there. And he said, no, you have to. So I went down, and the person there at reception said, you know what's going on? And all the time I was not wearing any flip-flops. So it's like I was violating code number 172.3, subsection A of the Onsen law code.
Right.
And so then he said, he came up with me and found out that the problem was I didn't have the flip-flops. So I wasn't allowed in the onsen without the flip-flops, without the bamboo ones. So then in the locker room where you change, it was literally, there's just like in the Osaka one, there's a place where you do your makeup and whatever else you do.
As I do.
As we all don't. But anyway, and I had to wear these bamboo shoes to go from the locker, like maybe 15 meters, to the onsen entrance. And then I had to take them off. It's like...
What does that remind you of?
Exactly. But anyway, it was very funny because they refused to let me in until I did all that. And then it was like, then they took the things away, so I didn't even have them afterwards. And it's like, dude. And then I went and I had a really good time, but I had a huge detox afterwards. Huge.
What did that involve?
Bathing, throwing up.
That's what you meant. Okay.
Like a little.
I thought you meant like
nothing spiritual.
ginger, lemon, honey.
No. This was because I haven't been around water energy. I've been in the ocean last year in Krabi, but this was, I think, because of how I've interacted. I've been on the Kumano Trail and many things like that, and around Kyoto, and powerful spiritual experiences. But something about that onsen and the beautiful water that they had there. I had an appointment the next day, but I had to cancel. I couldn't literally move until I threw up, and then it was like, I'm not going anywhere. And so that was my onsen experience.
Very cool.
But in the meantime, we are going to look at
what?
The royal conches. So this is my friend Rick, who makes these, and it's around here. So when I was in Bangkok last time, okay.
Oh yeah, those are beautiful.
Amazing. So this one he had in the shop. Now, Rick is the Vedic astrologist for the royal family. And his son went to the same school as the royal family. I mean, it's just crazy. But he was the lead singer of the top psychedelic band in the 60s in London. Jeff Beck stayed with him for 7 weeks. And John Peel was his, he was the manager of the band, and they were called the Misunderstood. And in the top 100, they're number one. But then he got drafted, and so the band dissolved. So that's why we haven't heard of them. But they were all set to go, huge. And so he lived in a cave, literally with nothing in Nepal, no passport, nothing, with someone Baba. who was a spiritual, like 100-year-old dude, but like he held the country together spiritually. When he died, then the Maoist revolution started. But then Rick has so many stories. He was helping open schools for the foundation, and he went to the president of India to ask for money. No passport, no ID, nothing. And the security man let him in. I mean, he's got that sort of karma.
You're looking for kind of thing.
No, I mean, he's just like, he's very devoted to his practice. So he has you see the way all these conches.
Wait, he made these?
His shop, he's actually the top. He had the biggest gem shop in Lumpini Park before the Red Shirt Rising.
Okay.
400 square meters, 50 staff.
Wow.
I mean, he was going huge. So you see all of these actually open when we're looking at it. Oops, I'll show you. This is one I bought in Cochin in Kerala. So they open on the right. He has one that opens on the left. Mm-hmm. That is literally 1 in a million. Cost him $10,000 years ago, and he uses it for his puja. Now, I do trades with him because he likes the focused. Yeah, this is the focus nano liposomal CBD, really strong.
Did it come up? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we do trades because I'm the only one importing it. I have a way of getting it under the radar with friends.
Got it.
And so he wanted, he's never got any money because what happened, he told me all these stories, it's really crazy. When he was doing so well, there's even a TV show dedicated to him because, he made an apparat, which is the royal 9 Vedic gems necklace for the Queen. And it's amazing she accepted it and everything, but he was also friends with General Prem, who was Prime Minister 3 times, very popular man. And General Prem basically introduced him to the Queen. And it's like, because he learned Vedic astrology, and so he knows which gems have which meaning based on your chart.
Okay.
So I've had a number of beautiful things from him. But there's this one man in Thailand who decorates the conches. These are all from the Indian Ocean.
So beautiful.
So originally he had this one in stock, and he hadn't sold it for years because of COVID. But because of all the contracts he had, all his money got drained out when the riots came. He had to keep paying rent, and he had staff and and basically went to nothing. So his house, I went to visit him at his house. He rents it for 33 years, right next to the palace. And he used to go into the palace grounds, and his wife, every day to bring their son to the school and bring him back. And his son is now married to the daughter of the top colonel in the Air Force in Thailand, because they went to school together, basically. Wow. But his son's really cool. I met him. Mm-hmm.
How old's his son now?
26.
Okay.
So his son works for the Swedish man who has the top YouTube channel in the world, 120 million subscribers. And he's like the top producer in YouTube, and they do wacky stuff. It's called Roommate or something.
That's hilarious. I never even heard of this guy.
No, I know. I've heard of this Swedish man, but I didn't know about him. Mm. But anyway, it's like that whole family is so synchronistic in everything that happens. So when we were trying to do the rest of the trade, and I said, let's go to your shop. And this conch was there. And look at the beautiful work. I mean, it's just stunning. And the idea of the puja is you pour water over the statue. And Rick has this huge, long 2-hour puja he does every day. It's very, very strict, that's his practice. And because he has the opposite side, Conch, the 1 in a million one, he said no amount of money would he sell it for because it's needed for his puja. So he's that kind of person.
Yeah.
And so as Rampa saw this and loved it, and she said, do you realize you got that for nothing? These are extremely valuable. And because Rick always gives me good prices and everything, but he knows everyone in the business. So I had a thought, and I said, there's one man who makes them, and it takes him a long time to make them. So I said to Rick, I'd like to buy 2 more. So this one is for Rampa. It just came today and she really loves it. So it's going to be on her altar for her practice. Mm-hmm. And then this one is going to go here, next to the big crystal. That's where it lives. And so this one, which I bought originally, is for Lungpo Suchin, who's the abbot who ordained me and Rampa and her 2 daughters. And look how beautiful it is. I mean, it's just stunning. I mean, this is literally royal family quality work.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like an alternative universe of like the Fabergé egg.
Yeah, that you could never buy. You can't. No, if I set out to buy it, I had a plan, and impossible.
And that's the story of how Guy Harriman traded something for half of Thailand's land.
Something like that. No, I really do trades on the etheric level. So the ether is very magic.
Yeah.
So I think, now that I've explained all that, thank you very much for coming, Mr. Scott.
Thank you so much. Those really interesting and beautiful pieces.
Amazing, yeah. So actually, Rampa's going to spend a month at the Wat, part of her MA research. She has to interview 25 people, like the Meshis, the nuns, after they meditate. And then she'll be there most of next month. So when I've cleansed my detox, maybe next week or the week after, we'll all go down, the whole family. And I want to present this to Suchin because Rampa says there's nothing in the temple that's like this. I mean, just look at that work. It's so intricate and beautiful. It's just a labor of love. And this one man, he spent his whole life doing these decorations for conches. Amazing. Isn't that so Thai?
I think it's so lovely. There's part of me that wishes I could have gone down some road like that, where you just perfect something for your whole life.
Your whole life. That's what spiritual journey is. The real perfection is the inner work.
That's true.
If you are really prepared to dedicate yourself to your spiritual journey, then all the blessings come, but they don't come through force. They come through magnetic attraction. So if you show the universe that you're dedicated and you're not screwing around and doing, going from one peak experience to another and all that kind of really ugly ego-based consciousness, if you go to the inner world where your non-dual consciousness is part of the non-dual consciousness of the universe, which all the traditions talk about, we're just a sliver of divinity gaining experience. If you do that, and you you literally dedicate your whole life to it, because that's what I'm into. It's just like everything else that happens in the material world is side effects. It's like, whatever, I don't mind. Whatever shows up is fine. But the dedication, the self-discipline, what people call austerities, like, all the things you had to give up, to me they're ugly. They just have no value. I gave up alcohol at 21 and I became vegetarian and vegan at 30, and all those things. It's just simplifying the interaction with the seduction, the Davic yin seduction, to allow the magnetic yang consciousness, which is the syntropic wisdom of the universe. It comes in of its own and it uses you as a vessel, and you can't chase it. If you try and grasp it, there's nothing there.
Please don't forget your train of thought that you were going to say, but I just wanted to do a side note and your further research on the meat issue, because one of my heroes, Dave Asprey, believes that people are crazy that think that you shouldn't eat meat.
I know.
He literally thinks they're crazy.
Yeah, I watched all his videos.
Is he just 100%?
No, he's not. I decided as a guess I'll turn around for a second. So I decided, for a different reason. A side effect would be my health, but the number one thing is to clean the channel. You cannot have death in your body, like, rotting corpses in your body, and maintain a high frequency. Now, that's only one journey through life. A lot of people say they want that, say they want to be of the light, but really they want sex, drugs, and rock and roll and entertainment and all the rest of it, which is fine. That's also experience. The trouble is there's karmic payback from that. But the only way to get out of that cycle of entrapment in the materium of blood and gore and everything is to choose different values, not for just simply material things that, I'll be healthier. I mean, I think you could say any baby could grow up as a vegan from their full power and live a whole life as a vegan and end up breatharian or whatever. Any baby can do that. But the pollution we get, starting from day one, and all the crap that we're given to eat and the pollution around and the EMFs, all of those things keep people at a low vibration deliberately, because that's where we are. And that's not a bad path. It's just I'm not into the karmic payback.
I understand better now.
Yeah, that's all. To me, I'm not an evangelist saying, nobody needs to be a vegan. I do it for my own reasons of cleansing, just like I do detox. It's like, how crazy is that I got this huge detox at the Onsen? But I'd go back at the right time, because I'm just getting more and more sensitive. And so that's where I'm meant to be right now.
Got it.
Yeah. So, but I don't, there are many people, like Cliff High says the same thing. Everyone has to have meat, you can't, but that's bullshit.
Yeah, they don't know either. They can't be certain.
Everyone's projecting their bullshit onto people. And the danger is, when I first became vegan, it's like, wow, I'm getting all this cleansing. And I tell people, and then I realized, hang on, who am I to say?
You fell for the thing, like the compare the Joneses thing, but just in a different mellow, which happens to everybody at the beginning of whatever their next thing is.
Yeah, you become a zealot. And a zealot is the most dangerous kind of person, because that fundamentalism puts people off. But in a funny way, making it less appealing is actually a good thing, because that means that there has to be a vibrational match.
That's so true.
And if the vibrational match comes from past life experience, but you can't grasp the past life experience. you can only cleanse yourself, and then that will automatically come through.
Right.
So anyway, I'm very grateful for these conches, and we can say goodbye. Goodbye,
Bye-bye,
girls and
girls
boys
and
and
boys.
boys and girls, and I have to press the X, and there's the X.
You know,
Do I want to stop streaming or not? Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's so true.